Hey everybody, beautiful day here on a cool South Georgia day. I think it's like 40 right now. I was going to talk today about what's the best to shoot, a finger tab or a glove. And I've shot both, and actually this year probably, so I killed 7 deer and 4 hogs, and I think kind of cut it in half of them with a glove and half of them with a tab, and probably half split finger and half 3 under. So anyway, and that's not what you want to do, but I had some finger issues. So let's talk about you know, it's obvious what the differences are, but let's talk about you know, each one in my opinion has some pluses and some minuses, and I'll tell you what I think about them. And I've used both a lot, and you can tell that glove has some wear on it, and like I said, I've used them both a lot. So let's start out. We'll talk about the tab, okay? The first thing, this tab is an Omnivore's tab. Mark Harrison makes these tabs, and this is the first one I bought from him, and it's I think 2 years old. And I shoot a bow a whole lot, and you can't tell it. I've shot this tab a lot, and I'm not sure. It's not cordovan, but whatever leather it is, it stays pretty slick. And I actually bought this. I was shooting 3 under, and so I bought the tab as a 3 under tab, and I started shooting split and cut those notches in it myself. But if you wanted him to do that for you, you can buy one like that. I'm not trying to sell you a tab. I'm just telling you I paid for this, and this is a fine tab. But we're talking about tabs. The things I like about a tab, number one is the feel I have. I can feel my fingers at anchor. I can feel, plus messing with my video camera, it's just easier for me to do the video and stuff. A lot of y'all won't deal with that. But I can feel my anchor, and I can use my fingers, you know. I can swing this thing around while I'm toting my bow or whatever. But it's really slick. And if you'll watch some of the shoots, you know, on YouTube or TV, the Lancaster and all these shoots that you see, the 3D and all, most everybody that's winning, they shooting a tab of some sort. And there are other kind of tabs. Like I said, I've only had this one 2 years, and I've shot tabs a lot. I used to use a calf hair tab, and it was basically the same thing, except it had calf hair. The only problem with it, really slick. When I say slick, I mean off the string. But I would make them like my head bald after a little while of shooting. I'd have them slick pretty quick. But the things I like about a tab, they are a slicker release. I can feel my anchor. I can feel my face with my fingers. It's I think it's the slicker release means more accurate on left and right, I believe. You know, your left and right misses from pulling off the string, especially if you shoot low poundage. And I sort of like a tab. I don't like the ones with the elastic deal here. He's got a cord on here. And it's, other than I trimmed it, it was a little bit long, and I shot it enough that I broke it in, and then I trimmed it to fit. And other than that, I really like a tab, and probably will do most of my shooting with a tab. And those are my thoughts on a tab. They really not expensive. You can spend some money on one. Here comes the Psycho dog. What are you doing? Hey, you're a lunatic. Crazy dog. Anyway, tabs, good and slick. Feel your fingers. Your hands, you can use your hands with it. You know, being precise with your fingers if you're working on your cameras or whatever. Most people today are sitting in their stands playing with their phone. I have been guilty of that. It has not cost me a deer yet though. But that's my thoughts on a tab. I would probably recommend a beginner to use a tab, simply because of feeling your anchor, because that's new to you. You want to get a good solid anchor. Alrighty, let's talk about a glove. Alright, on gloves, let's take the tab off. I have a glove here. It's this is a Three Rivers glove, and I've did all kind of adjustment. I mean, this is old, and it's called the Dura glove. And this is a one style of glove a lot of people use. It has this man-made stuff here, and see, it has some slight creases in it here, but not really deep. And this gets off the string pretty good. This is the one I've used this year when I was shooting the glove, and it actually had a thing on the front here like the back, and I just cut it off. It's hot down here in South Georgia, and it really serves no purpose. So I cut it off, and these are fine gloves. It's called a Dura glove. They make some that's out of, I remember I used to shoot one, a Damascus glove, I think it was, and it had doe skin. I think it was deer skin. Have to keep my eye on this dog here. But I like gloves. I mean, they're always right there. And one thing about the tips, when I was talking about feeling your anchor, you get used to this. I mean, it stays in the same place every time, but you can't feel it with your fingers, you feel it with your face. And these are sewn around the ends. That's one thing I kind of don't like, simply because it like your fingers way back here and it pokes out. Whereas these other style of gloves with the rounded fingers, it's sort of rounded like your finger, and you actually can feel your anchor a little better with that. The only thing about these style of gloves is they'll get this crease. See that crease? That's pretty deep. They do make them with another overlay here, and also I've seen them before with it's like a piece of plastic in there to help keep that stiff. And these are fine gloves too. It's really a preference. A lot of you hill style longbowmen, they'll shoot a glove, kind of hitting them like Howard Hill, I guess. But I've seen some people who shot for a long time shooting gloves, then they ended up shooting tabs. Who knows why? I think Ron LeClaire, he used to shoot a glove all the time, and the last few videos I saw him shooting a bow, he had a tab on. Denny Sturgis, I think he shoots a tab now. He used to be a hardcore glove guy, I believe. But and I used to be a hardcore glove guy. I'm nowhere in their league, but I went to a tab simply because it feels better. But gloves are good. Gloves are good. I mean, I hunt down here in South Georgia, and a glove will start smelling like a dead animal if you sweat enough. You have to keep them clean. Tab's not so bad. You might notice that this one has a number on it. Whenever you buy a tab or a glove, I would suggest you don't, I mean, you get one and you say, yes, I like this, go ahead and buy a couple more. And the reason for that, say this glove, it took a while to wear that crease in it. And so if I had this one, this was what I shot, and then I had me another one for a backup. If it's not broke in, I lose this one, I grab my backup, it's not going to shoot the same. It needs to be broke in. These don't take much breaking in. But what I'm telling you is, when I bought this one has a 2 on it. When I bought this one, I bought 2 of them. And I would shoot one day and the other the next. And I broke them in the same. And so no matter which one I grabbed, it was broke in. And with these, were like dirt cheap, and I bought 4 of them. Back in the day, I think I paid $10 a piece for these. These will cost you like, I ain't bought one in a long time, but I would guess at $30 or more for one of these. But a good custom-made tab, like the tab that I have that Mark Harrison made, I forget what I paid for it. It may have been $35 or something. In my opinion, it's worth every penny. He does an excellent job. I've never owned a Rod Jenkins tab, but I've looked at them, and they're fine tabs as well. And the craftsmanship's in them really good. But there again, you don't buy one, you buy 2. You keep them broke in. I keep a tab in my pack, and then a tab, whatever quiver I'm using. Like when I'm through shooting, just put it on my arrow. It's stuck in my quiver there, so I always have it. But I have one in my pack. If I'm shooting a glove, I'll have one of these in my pack, and one wrapped around my quiver as well. But a tab or a glove, you can't go wrong with either one. It's just a matter of what you feels good, what you like. There again, I think most beginners would be better with a tab. One reason I shot a glove this year, because I had went to a tab all the time, is I had problems, and I'm going to make a video on this in a little bit. I had problems with my knuckle right here. and its sense is good. But when I shot split finger, it really hurt my knuckle. I guess with the air being between there, it put pressure on my knuckle and it was killing it. When I shot 3 under, I didn't have that pressure on that knuckle, that downward pressure. So I could, you know, shot a tab. And so that's, you know, this does give you some protection in that. And most of the time, if you're having finger pain, it's because you're drawing with an elbow too high or too low or something, or you're not pulling even with your fingers. But a glove does give you more protection. A little bit of camo too on this hand, but you can always put a glove on and slip that tab on that as well. You know, if you were hunting like on the ground or something. But that's my thoughts on a glove or a tab. Hope that helps you decide, or at least shows you some things that are good and bad about them. And it's a beautiful day. Thank you, Lord. Thank y'all for watching. And maybe this will help somebody decide. And see y'all on the next video. Thank you for watching.